Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with round 3 of season 2 of the F124 My Team Career Mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here for the Australian Grand Prix. Now, of course, if you missed out on the video that went live later on last week from Saudi Arabia, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. Safe to say that the start of season 2 in this series has not been good to me. We are currently last in the Drivers' World Championship because we've had 2 mechanical failures. Yes, my F1 23, my F1 22, my F1 2021 luck seems to well and truly be back inside this game. However, I guess there's quite a lot of drama going on in the bigger picture, though. Fernando Alonso leading the World Championship, despite the fact he hasn't won a race yet. Carlos Sainz in P2, 3 points ahead of Charles Leclerc there, and Lewis Hamilton. 6 drivers currently covered by 5 points at the top of the table, neither of which are the Red Bulls. Max Verstappen down in P9. I think that's the lowest I've ever seen him on this game as well there. Ferrari leading the Constructors, Red Bull all the way down in 5th place as well in that table. 212 Motorsports are last, though, in both of the championship standings. So, at the very least, I'm hoping this weekend we can survive the Australian Grand Prix. But, yeah, if past results are indicative of future success, I'm not holding my breath as we head into this one. Get yourself subscribed if you're new around here as well. We're trying to hit 4K subs at the moment on the channel. And, yeah, let's do this thing.
Hello everyone, it is time for qualifying at one of our very favourite stops on the calendar. It's Albert Park and we're about to take the cars right up to the edge.
Oh, happy memories then, of course, here from Albert Park last season where we took our first ever win inside this game and obviously inside this series as well. Yes, I'm sure it comes with a huge asterisk alongside it, but a win is a win in the world of Formula 1 and we certainly took the opportunity that was presented in front of us. This weekend, though, I'd just be happy if we see the checkered flag, to be completely honest. Lando Norris, of course, we saw him have 3 mechanical failures in a row in the driver career mode to kickstart last year, so I would like to ideally not match his record so far on this game. I've had 2 in a row quite a few times before in previous F1 games. I've never had 3 though, so hopefully that's a good omen for us, but I guess records are there to be broken at the end of the day as well. As yeah, this car though should be good around this venue. Purple through the middle sector, obviously where it's very, very high speed. It is all about just trying to manage that battery usage, using it down all the fast bits and then trying to recharge it back up through these slower sections. We make our way then out of the final corner. Got no real idea where this time's going to put us. It's felt like a pretty good tidy lap though, up towards the line. 1:16.4. We go P10. I'm happy with that as a first run. Well, I did mention it in the videos that went live last week, but of course, yeah, this series isn't quite going to be as consistent as the driver career.
Just 1 minute, and we've dropped to P12.
Yeah, still just outside the top half of the grid. But yeah, as I mentioned, obviously, you know, we've got co-op, we've got the Williams RTG as well, and also we live stream on this channel, so it's not going to stay anywhere near daily uploads like we get in the other series, but I do still want to maintain, you know, sort of 2-3 episodes a week. If possible here inside F124. The My Team Career Mode, though, you know, is always going to be a bit of a slower burn.
30 seconds left in the session.
Yeah, slower burn kind of series as well. And obviously next month, we're probably going to be bringing back some F1 Championship Edition and all of that good stuff as well. Obviously, you know, the first month of F124 has been really, really good fun. But obviously, yeah, we've got lots of other series that we want to do as well. Lots of other exciting projects that we want to undertake as well. There's a 10th and a half of at the moment. And we've done a really, really good job with our battery so far on this second qualifying lap. 3/10 up as we make our way down in towards the final sector here. Just wanted to make sure we give ourselves a little bit of extra charge for the final corner. And that's going to immediately become irrelevant.
Cause reduced grip until they clear.
Oh, damn it, man. That was 3/10 up that we've just completely thrown away. Hopefully we're still going to be able to improve there as everybody else has done so. So track definitely getting quicker. Oscar Piastri goes to the top of the board. Should have won this race last season. We are going to find another 1/10 of a second. That leaves us P15 on the grid. But oh, what could have been Well, Oscar Piastri, a fantastic Banzai qualifying lap there right at the end of the session, able to beat out Fernando Alonso, our World Championship leader, with Verstappen in third, ahead of both Brits Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton. We could have ended up between those Alpines up in P12 there had we nailed the lap. We actually set an identical time to Daniel Ricciardo, which I think is the second time I've managed that so far on this game with the Australian. Wasser, not a qualifying session for him to write home about. Starting to get slightly worried about his performance inside this game. But yeah, let's head then into the race.
It's been a tough couple of years for this venue. We really missed Albert Park. It is a warm welcome back to the Australian Grand Prix. We first raced here in Albert Park back in 1996. It's 3.2 miles, 14 turns now instead of the original 16, part of a larger redevelopment to encourage overtaking. The drivers enjoyed it in 2022. It retains the landmarks, the bumps, the challenge, but there's more opportunity to attack with those 5 corners to the left and the 9 to the right. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Oscar Piastri lines up on pole position, and it's Fernando Alonso alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Hamilton, Norris, Leclerc, Perez, Sainz, Russell, Stroll, Gasly, Ocon, Hulkenberg, Ricciardo, Mr. Monaco, Tsunoda, Albon, Teo Porcher, Bottas, Joe, Sargent, and Ayumu Iwasa. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Well, here we are then, trackside ready for the Australian Grand Prix. And we finally starting to see Fernando Alonso? You know, he did come P2 last weekend, but now are we actually seeing him as a real championship threat? Our Red Bull in trouble this year? Is Max Verstappen's reign of terror finally going to come to an end inside F1 24? We've got 29 laps ahead of us today, though. We're going to start on the mediums and go to hards, but it could be completely irrelevant if the car breaks once again here. Lining up, though, on the grid. I want to know why this Hulkenberg couldn't deliver for us when he was at Haas in the driver series. But it is red, 5 red lights and lights out, and away we go. Oh, look at that. Yuki Tsunoda getting off to a really good start. Going to try and pin him to the inside with his teammate Daniel Ricciardo. What on earth has happened there? How did we find that avenue? Straight up into the points. We'll go into P10, and we made up 5 places down at turn 1 there. I was kind of hoping we'd find a bit of an avenue around the outside of maybe Hulkenberg and a couple of other drivers, but not Ocon, Stroll, and Pierre Gasly as well. They're fantastic news off the start of the Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz caught a little bit napping as well as we make our way out onto the middle sector, though. I believe it is still Oscar Piastri that leads the way at the front of the field. Max Verstappen, though, clearly must have heard what I said at the start of this one. It's had an absolute disaster by his standards to kickstart the campaign. He's still only just 20 points off, isn't he, of the World Championship lead, though. So when you say it like that, it doesn't sound like all too much there. But yeah, straight up into the points for us on lap 1. That was absolutely fantastic. We know how important the DRS is around here, so we've just got to try and stay in the train. As into the back of sight, somehow we get no damage. Well, Max Verstappen then has already moved his way to the front of the order, but Fernando Alonso is still hung on to him early on. Oscar Piastri, I mean, how many times have we said it? For some reason, he's cursed around Albert Park. He can be in the fight for the lead, but he's just never able to convert it. And probably the one time he should have. We obviously snookered away that win with a superior one-stop strategy. We're sat, though, like I said, in P10. Honestly, at the moment, I'm trying to just hang to Carlos Sainz. We gain a bit of time through this middle sector. This car is very, very efficient in a straight line. But apart from that, though, the rest of the lap, we are losing just a little bit. Trying to make sure we keep the Frenchman of Pierre Gasly at bay further back. But yeah, Sainz might drop out of the range of Russell. As soon as I say all this, World Championship leader Fernando Alonso now has moved to the front of the order. I mean, that would be a fantastic storyline, wouldn't it? If Alonso and Aston Martin have actually got a car that can fight this year. He's a very consistent driver inside F1 24. I would love to see it happen. Well, although the patch has absolutely made F1 24 better and more interesting, you know, we don't just get one huge train of cars. Australia, that still seems to be the case a little bit more than most venues. just sat watching that Ferrari go around at the moment. Of course, if you haven't already, go check out the first round of Season 3 of our driver career mode. We are in that Ferrari car you can see directly in front of me at Carlos Sainz. It was a very good race. It was very, very entertaining as well there, as I think Verstappen has just moved back past Alonso. Alonso must have made a mistake somewhere because he's all the way down to P4 then. So he almost lost the place to Perez.
Okay, they're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
So yeah, not too sure what happened to Fernando here, but starting to struggle. You just then get all this constant tuning up, and then that's where the chaos begins. Well, if Norris is struggling, I think we've got to try and make a move to get round him as soon as possible here. Charles Leclerc already trying it, so we just have not got the top end speed over Carlos Sainz. Down the inside will go. The Ferrari driver kind of saw how aggressively I was trying to go for it. We've used all of our battery pack though, as Lando trying to defend from Charles Leclerc.
Maneuver, you made it look so easy.
It was quite scary, to be honest, Mark, because yeah, Sainz had enough speed that I didn't think we were going to get the run, but we made it happen. You could just see immediately Lando Norris, that McLaren, just starting to break up this top group of cars. So really, really important that Leclerc gets past him as soon as possible. Open up the DRS at the final corner. Are we going to be vulnerable to that Ferrari behind? There goes Charlie boy.
By 11.4 seconds.
Oh, Lando Norris there able to defend around the outside. We were able to do the same with Carlos Sainz further behind. Russell caught a little bit at the wrong place at the wrong time. Around the outside of the Mercedes man. He bobbles over the curbs. Got the inside for turn 5. There we go. Through and up into 8th. This time around then Norris with no DRS at all. Surely he's going to be vulnerable. Charles Leclerc has opted to push him along for some reason down in towards the fast chicane. So we've got to try and time this and get a good run on the pair of them on the exit of the corner. Come on, Charles. You got to go for it. You can't spend this long waiting behind the McLaren. We're going to make it 3 wide. It's down the inside will go. What is that? I mean, we were down the inside. We're completely wheel to wheel with him, and the AI just decided to turn across. I don't think Charles realised that there were 2 cars on this inside. Plenty of contact, but for the first time ever inside F124, I've been involved in an incident like that, and I seem to have got away with it. Not for long though. Charles Leclerc immediately having a look back down the inside. Yeah, I don't think DRS against no DRS we're going to have anything against the Ferrari. Well, it's across 1/3 distance then, almost getting ready to prepare for our pit stop. Yeah, although the raw pace of this car is very good, it's a very, very stable car. It's a good all-rounder so far on F124. It certainly doesn't mean that we've got the out-and-out pace to, beat Ferraris and things like that. What we're really doing at the moment is just letting Leclerc try and close back in to those top 5 runners at the front of the field. It is Oscar Piastri that has moved back into the lead of the race at the moment. I would like to see any of those cars win today that aren't the Red Bull. I think it would just be really, really good for this series if Red Bull, have to go the first few races without winning any of them. Obviously, it was Ferrari in round 1, and I think McLaren in round 2. I could be wrong. But it is, made for fantastic viewing. Of course, we haven't really seen either of those wins, though, so not ideal. Russell and Norris, though, really dropping away further behind. So Charles and I into a bit of, a bit of a window here, which is good. But I think this time around then we're going to try and get the jump on Charles and go for a 1-lap early pit box here in this race. Tyres have hung on pretty well up to this point, and we do seem to get the run in a straight line on the Ferrari, so we'll try and go clean around him. Oh, so, we know Leclerc, though, he's not going to give up on it that easily. And the outside will go. As you can see, the gap to Perez has come down just up in front there, down under 3-second mark, which is really, really good. Russell, I believe that is now into the lead of the Grand Prix, or is it Lewis Hamilton? It is Lewis, isn't it? Of course, Russell's still behind us. Oh, into the pits we go, though. Just don't want to deal with any traffic on our box-in lap, and maybe we can get a bit of an undercut as well on a few of the other runners. I think that Alpine at the rear of the field has already pit, and is still ahead of our teammate Iwasa. So yeah, Gasly doing pretty well.
With that, okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track.
Now we just got to hope that we don't have to deal with too much traffic, as Iwasa, he needs to up his game if he wants to keep that seat. It was acceptable in a rookie season. Now we've put so much money into developing the facilities for our second driver. He is not utilising them. There we go, other cars now into the pit lane. Alex Albon, Valtteri Bottas, Esteban Ocon, and a handful of others. So here we go. This is going to be interesting. Charles Leclerc temporarily gets the jump on me. Oh, we almost made contact there. I think we just got around him.
Just come in for the hard tyres. Car behind, running hard tyres.
This is critical, though. We've got to get inside that range of Fernando Alonso whilst he builds back up temperature in that tyre if we want to fight with that group towards the end. And nothing we could do there about Charles Leclerc.
Trying to keep focus.
Clean around my outside. I think, yeah, we might struggle a bit more on these harder compound tyres as the Ferrari absolutely sailed around me. But, yeah, we're still going to try and utilise him to get with the top runners. Loads more cars into the pit lane as well, so this is really, really good. So we make our way out of the final turn. Logan Sargent, Joe Granu. Too many drivers to name as we're up into 8th place then. So it looks like actually some of the drivers that overcut did really, really well through that pit window. I think we've still got a couple that are out here that need to box. Is that Logan Sargent in the Williams just in front? No, it's Pierre Gasly, isn't it? Hamilton's dropped back down the order slightly, and I believe that's a V-carb leading the way. Oh, what's going on here? Alonso's getting caught out behind Pierre Gasly. We've got to try and capitalise and get the run on the exit of the corner. All of us seem to have the DRS at the moment, so not too sure what's going on with it. Down the inside of Alonso, down the inside of Gasly. That one was a bit more of a lunge. That really wasn't actually what I intended to do there. But we'll get down the inside of all of them then, so the Frenchman can't be long before he needs to pit again. And yeah, with one of those V-carbs in, we are effectively now up into a net P4 of the Grand Prix. Gasly's staying out here just a little bit longer, as it was... Oh, Sergio Perez, sorry, wasn't it, that needed to pit.
Pass for the leader of the race.
So Perez, yeah, it's really actually been screwed over quite badly there in all of that. Are we going to be able to get the jump on the Red Bull car out of turn 2? We're going to have a look to the outside. He knows how critical it is to hang on to this position. With slightly fresher tyres, he'll do it now. I don't mind, though. We'll stay and claim the DRS. To the outside of Sergio. This is really not actually what I want to do at the moment. I'm convinced we've got the pace to be able to get away from the Red Bull driver, but if he's going to struggle, then we're going to have to go for it. Swooping around the outside there of the Mexican. And yeah, we are back up then into P4. Hamilton, Oscar Piastri, Max Verstappen. There's two of those that have won many times before in Formula 1. The local boy, though, yet to claim a victory. As here goes Perez again.
0.5 seconds. Gap to your teammate behind, 29.3 seconds.
Checo really does not know how to position his car down at turn 1. I'm hoping, though, he's fired up the tyres, and now he's going to be able to drag me forward. Well, anybody that watched the Williams Road to Glory highlights that went live yesterday will know we got really, really annoyed in that race because Lance Stroll would sit behind Sergio Perez for like the last 20 laps, got carried by the Red Bull, and then just went for the move on the very last lap of the Grand Prix. I admit I'm a little bit of a hypocrite. We're having to do a bit of that at the moment. It's around the outside this time around, and Checo will go. He is not quick in that Red Bull right now. When is he ever in 2024? But it's really just very, very peculiar. Rather interestingly as well then now, with less than 10 laps to go, Sergio Perez actually is really struggling to make moves happen there, as Alonso's going to try and look around the outside of the pair of us. Kind of get a little muscled out there, and the wise head on the Spaniard there, just realising that was maybe slightly too optimistic of a move to try and go for. I really don't want to lose 3 places in one go though. That might be about what's about to happen though, as Charles Leclerc tried to have a look down the inside as well. Yeah, Perez, staggeringly, doesn't actually have that much more top-end speed over me, so he is really, really struggling with that car at the moment. Hamilton and Piastri seem to be trying to work together as well to keep Max Verstappen at bay. I mean, P3 for him would be a very good result so far this season, but, I mean, come on, Charles, just work together, man. Oh, Alonso now having a look to the outside of Sergio. Nope, that's definitely not happening for him. Wonder if Christian Horner's come over the phone telling him he has to keep Alonso at bay. Do it for the championship, but I'm pretty certain, yeah, basically, unless it's Max, whoever wins this race is going to be up to the top of the table as we've got yellow flags out. I think that might be Charles Leclerc going slowly. Don't know who that is. No, I think it's Pierre Gasly. So heartbreak for Esteban Ocon, sorry, in the other Alpine car. Out, our first casualty of the afternoon. And, oh, I thought that was a mechanical failure for us. It's just a DRS failure, which is not ideal either. Huge rear wing. Oh, no!
DRS is stuck open. We need you to pit for repairs.
No! The DRS is stuck open, so I guess we've got a very good helping of speed down the straights. Not really sure what boxing's going to be able to do. Normally they can't fix it anyway. But DRS is now stuck open here in Albert Park. I could just see it in the mirrors. So, I mean, well, I'd say it gives us a nice helping slipstream and extra top speed down the straight, but he's making a very, very unstable car through the corners as Perez just loses the place to Alonso once again. I think we can try and hang on to it. I certainly don't want to box this late on. Bizarrely, it's already fixed. How have they already fixed it inside a lap there? Very, very peculiar. And well, we can't quite claim that as our third mechanical failure of the year, but certainly a mechanical fault once again. This team have a durability factor of about -4, it would appear, on this game, as Perez again to the outside of Fernando Alonso. We were a bit too worried focusing on ourselves last lap to really watch what was going on here between these two. I mean, this is massive for the championship. I know it's early doors, but Fernando Alonso has seen time and time again have a couple of points lost here, a couple of points lost there. They can make the difference come the end of a Formula 1 campaign, as Perez then back through. Fernando, though, surely is going to be able to get a run on him as we make our way back out onto the straight. I mean, that Aston Martin has got some ponies, so is Charles Leclerc. Speaking of ponies, it's the prancing horse. So I'll maybe try to give him a little bit too much of a squeeze, more than I'd ever intended to. Are we going to see Perez vulnerable on the exit of the corner? Yes, we are. And the Mexican then is going to try and defend from myself. Can we go the long way around? Come on, put the power down. This is a crazy race up to this point, but we're through. Oh, we've got more yellows. We've got more yellows. With just 4 laps to go of the Grand Prix. It's, I think, Logan Sargent now breaking down. And weirdly, that's probably quite a good sign for us. You usually, for some reason, get 2 drivers with mechanical failures each race inside F1 24 if you're doing a 50% race. So knowing that they've already happened now to 2 other drivers fills me with confidence that it might not be me for a change. And again, I am known for jinxing myself as well in this game, but Alonso looks like that first win of the year is going to have to wait yet another weekend. It's still anybody's guess, though, between our top 3 drivers right now. We are just waiting for the right opportunity to get the run on the Spaniards. That might have to wait for the very last lap, as Sergio Perez is getting more impatient behind me. As you can see now, immediately trying to get a run down the back straight. Are we going to see the Mexican get the top speed he needs? Oh, everyone just backs up there into the chicane, especially with those yellow flags on the exit. Now we're going to try and get a run, though, on Alonso. Around the outside, we'll try and go. Oh, he wanted to keep the nose there up the inside, but we make it through. Well, the problem we've got, of course, when we go for those moves is then we've got no straight line speed against a lot of cars that are looking very, very racy. There goes Alonso. Oh, Perez as well. Again, tried to have a look for it, just as both of us wanted to tuck back into the slipstream of the Spaniard there. I'm sure Checo not too happy about that one, as he's going to again try and have a look for a move. Oh, look, the rear slightly. We just kept it out of trouble, and Alonso immediately will sense that and try to bolt free. We hang on, 2 laps to go. It is anybody's guess. Just over 1 lap to go there, and Max Verstappen finally has moved himself up into the lead of the Grand Prix. It has been a slow start to the year for the Dutchman. So now his teammate trying to look around our outside yet again. Once more, we're just able to spot it, and we're able to make sure that we keep him down in P6. But who is going to win this race? Will it be the reigning world champion? Will it be the most winningest driver in Formula 1 history? Or could it be the local boy who grew up watching races around this Albert Park circuit, has lived in Melbourne throughout all of his life, of course, before he made it into the big leagues as a Formula 1 driver? 1 lap to go here from Albert Park, Australia. I'm not a betting man,
Final lap of the race, final lap.
but if I was, I think I know who the crowd would be cheering on for the most part there, and it's certainly not the Red Bull or the Mercedes. We're just trying to wait, though, for our opportunity to have a look for a move against Fernando Alonso down this back straight. Are we going to find any more windows, any more opportunities? We've just got to try and hang close to him and then try and use the DRS, but obviously I've got one eye on what's going on at the front of the field as well. We know how good that Red Bull is, and Max Verstappen will patiently wait, save up battery. He hasn't saved up enough this time, though, as Hamilton ran the outside. I think Piastri's gone round the outside of him as well there. So Max Verstappen back down to P3 in an instant, as now Oscar Piastri trying to challenge Lewis Hamilton. We've gone clean back around the outside of Fernando Alonso, and just like the Red Bull, he has gone and lost 2 places in one go there, down in towards the final couple of corners, though. Could it be a drag race between Hamilton and Piastri on the run up towards the start-finish line here? We're just trying to build up a little bit of a gap as Alonso, he lost another place to Lando Norris as well. Out of the final corner, though, Lewis Hamilton is going to win the Australian Grand Prix, and with that, I think, move to the top of the championship. through the final corner we go. Not only are we going to survive a race, it is going to be P4 just.
The longest winless streak of his career is over. Lewis Hamilton takes the checkered flag.
What a true show of character to fight through the grid the way they did, to not get beat down by starting so far down, and to come back and win it all. Just goes to show how strong this driver is.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everyone played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
Well, Lewis Hamilton then, he's only had to wait 2 years, but he is finally back on the top step of a Formula 1 podium. And Oscar Piastri, for the second year in a row around this venue, he will come up just short and finish in P2. Their top 3 cars covered by less than a second. But to finish a race I was happy with, and to finish that race in P4, I am absolutely ecstatic there. First points on the board for us and the team of the year. Really, really happy that we were able to bring that one home from 15th on the grid as well, let's not forget. Most of that was helped by an absolutely ridiculous race start there. Perez, Norris, Russell, Alonso, Leclerc, and the other Australian in Daniel Ricciardo rounding out the top 10 there. Carlos Sainz really did struggle right the way throughout the afternoon. The same can be said for Iwasa. 20 seconds behind anybody come the end of that one. Yeah, I think we're really going to have to start reviewing his performance early on in the campaign. But that does mean Lewis Hamilton to the top of the Formula 1 drivers' standings there. 8 points clear of Oscar Piastri. Fernando Alonso drops down to P3 ahead of Russell and those 2 Ferraris there, with Perez still ahead of Verstappen and Lando Norris. We immediately boost our way up into best of the rest, so very, very happy with that. And yeah, it's going to be a bit of an odd year, apparently, if basically no one else is going to be able to score points as well there. Constructors-wise, Mercedes now with a 20-point lead over McLaren, who's still ahead of Ferrari and Red Bull as well. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back very soon when Formula 1 returns ready for the Japanese Grand Prix.